So I just got around to seeing this new film called Cocaine Bear, and it's being directed by Elizabeth Banks. Now, before going into this movie, and before like watching the trailer before it dropped, when I heard that Elizabeth Banks was going to be directing the film, I was very nervous and skeptical when I heard that she was going to direct it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Elizabeth Banks as an actress. I think she's amazing. I loved her in a lot of movies that she's in. But as a filmmaker, according to the track record that the past three movies that she's made, like Walk of Shame and Charlie's Angels reboot and Pitch Perfect 3, according to critics and audiences, they thought they were terrible. They thought her directing skills was not the greatest. And take this with a giant grain of salt. I have not seen any of those movies that she's made. I skipped over it, so I can't say whether I like it or dislike it. But from what I've heard, that her movies were awful. And when I've heard that she was going to be directing this film, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it. But then when the trailer dropped, I was like, I'm in. I have no question. I'm gonna go see it. It looks a lot of fun. Now, look, this is technically a true story because it's inspired by the events that actually happened, but mostly it's just a fictionalized story that she wanted to turn that thing and put a spin on her own. And don't go in this movie expecting this to be a history lesson because it's not. This movie is made to entertain the audience. And after coming out of this movie, I will say it is everything that you expected it to be. It's over the top, campy, old school 80s like horror comedy, and this is one of the funniest movies I've seen all year. Now look, the characters are not as well developed in the movie. The first 10 minutes was a little bit of a rocky to get through, but after you get past it, the plot kicks in. They definitely delivered the killing bear rampage, and just watching him snort cocaine and get really high and go like apeshit crazy on people. It delivers, and it's very graphic, and there's a lot of messed up moments that I was like, oh my god. The most intense scene, which is my favorite scene of the whole movie, and some of you saw this in the trailer, it was in the ambulance chase. We've seen a little bit more context. It was intense and it was hilarious, and it was enjoyable to watch. There was a lot of jokes that was very well delivered, and I thought Alden Ehrenreich and O'Shea Jackson Jr., who are playing the criminals who were trying to find the cocaine that was scattered all over the forest, they were the highlights of the movie. I enjoyed their dynamic together on screen, and I did like Kerry Russell and the two kids that were in the film. I thought they were good as well. Overall, this is a film that is going to be putting on the edge of your seat, and you're going to have a fun time watching it. Now, don't go in this movie expecting this to be a deep story or a deep character driven, because it's not. It's just there to entertain you, and that's what it did. It's a dumb, fun movie, but in a good way, and this is a film that you should definitely watch with an audience, and there's a couple of mid-credit scenes.